breakfast time and I couldn't decide what I wanted to eat for a while. Coincidentally, I finally decided on the waffle.
I'm making waffles.
I'm going to make a waffle that is flavorful, crispy, and also gluten-free. Let's fix it. I'm going to start my batter off by cracking a couple eggs.
I was thinking about the saying, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. It really applies to a lot of things, doesn't it?
Just beat those real quick.
To hold the bowl in place better, I decided to put a towel underneath.
Now I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of avocado oil.
I like using avocado oil here because the high smoking point means the oil won't break down when it's in the waffle iron, which means the waffles are less likely to stick. I'm not really sure how much milk I'll need for this recipe. I'm pouring out 1 3/4 cups, and I'm adding about a cup right away to the eggs, and I'll keep the rest aside to slowly add as needed, and then we'll know how much the total will be at the end.
Okay, going to put that aside and then do with the dry ingredients. I'm going to do about 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour mix.
Normally when I'm baking, I use weight to get the flour exact, but hey, waffles are a little less formal.
We're going to do 3 teaspoons of baking powder.
This is one of the keys to fluffy waffles.
And 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. A few taps of cinnamon. And just a little nutmeg. Maybe like that much. A few dashes of salt. And about 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's all the dry ingredients.
At this point, I'm pretty sure I'll need to add more milk, and that's okay. I'm trying to make a thick batter at first, so when I mix it, I can get rid of all the lumps. If the batter goes really thin right away, it's much harder to get the lumps out because you don't have the same viscosity.
One nice thing about gluten-free flour is you really don't need to stress about overmixing. Wheat flour and its gluten, if you overmix it, it will start to get tough.
I could be using my electric mixer for this, but I decided to make the recipe a little more rustic.
That's looking pretty good. Just going to add some more milk.
As it turns out, I ended up using that exact amount of milk, 1 3/4 cups. Now see how the batter pours? That's what you want for waffles, nice and thin so they'll spread out evenly. So let's make some waffles. Getting started here, I'm just going to brush the surfaces with a little bit of avocado oil. You don't want to make too big a mess, but you definitely want to make sure there's enough oil to prevent sticking.
That looks good.
First waffle batter in. Look at how thin that is and watch it spread out over the waffle iron. That's exactly how you want it to be.
So I like to wait a few seconds and then flip it over.
Man, you guys ain't had no waffles like these.
Let's give that a minute and then I'll put a waffle on the other side.
Same process again. Cover all the surfaces with a light coating of avocado oil so it won't stick, hopefully. Next waffle batter in. Again, check out that pour. Nice and even.
This is actually kind of puffy. I have to hold it down. The steam's trying to force the waffle maker open. I'm waiting for some type of a ding or a light coming on. Sometimes it makes a ding or a beeping sound. Sometimes the light comes on, but it doesn't always ding. So I'm mostly looking for the light. There's that sound.
It's supposed to beep every time, but it doesn't. But the light always works. It just keeps things interesting.
Sticking to the top, uh-oh.
The waffle stuck to the top, but that's okay. At least it didn't stick to both sides and split wide open. So I can just use a fork to try and massage it out.
Maybe we'll go a little bit longer and then it won't stick. The first one's usually the troublemaker.
I did notice when I was poking around there that the center of the waffle was really soft, and if I pried too hard it would just separate. So I thought I would cook it a little longer and see if that would firm it up a little bit. Maybe it'll pop out then.
Now I need to go with a sense of urgency. The other waffle's going to be done soon.
I couldn't have planned that any better. So yeah, I need to get another waffle on this side and then flip it over and do the other side before the other waffle gets overcooked. Now keep in mind, I'm having issues with sticking because I didn't preheat the waffle iron long enough, even though I emphasized that in the beginning of the video. My mistake.
So the technique for getting a waffle unstuck, you get a fork to the underneath layer that's not coming free, and then you kind of wiggle it a little bit. Try not to scratch the non-stick surface, but just kind of get the fork in there and twist a little bit, move the fork a little and then twist it a little more, and then just kind of keep going around, and then eventually sections will start to pop up free.
At some point in the process, I start to feel like a waffle robot. I'm just doing the same thing. Lubricate the waffle iron, put in the batter, take a waffle out, repeat, and that's how it goes. And eventually you have a nice pile of waffles. I think I got 5.5 out of this recipe by the time I was done here. I was really fighting this one pretty good. Oh, there it goes. I put them on cooling racks so they don't get soggy. Those look pretty good.
JJ, save me a waffle, man.
So now I'm going to put the waffle maker aside and we'll give it a taste test. Lately I've been doing peanut butter and jelly. That's just been hitting the spot for me. When I was a kid, it was all about the pure maple syrup. And I remember as a kid trying to fill every single little square with maple syrup all the way full, kind of like making a bunch of lakes. And we always got in trouble for that because we were just using too much syrup. And I understand that now. So let me show you what I do.
So we'll start off with a generous amount of peanut butter. Don't be stingy, fill up those squares.
Then we'll get some jelly.
A couple healthy dollops of your favorite jelly or jam.
And of course some pure maple syrup to go along with that.
Half peanut butter and jelly, half maple syrup. Oh yeah.
How do you like to decorate your waffle? Let me know in the comments. Let's give it a try.
I seem to be struggling with the fork a little bit. Should I have gotten a knife out, or is that just for special occasions?
Oh yeah, that waffle's perfectly crispy, has a nice light flavor, and is a perfect vehicle for anything you put on it. And the peanut butter and jelly is just a perfect combo. Now let's try the maple syrup. Oh yeah, that just reminds me of home. Tastes so good. But wait, why not try them together? Peanut butter, jelly, and maple syrup.
Sometimes in life, you just need to indulge. Yes, this is one of those times.
Now that is just special. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you try making gluten-free waffles. Don't be afraid of them. They're really pretty easy to do, and it's definitely worth it. And you know, you can just put them in the fridge. That's what I'm going to do with these, and I'll just heat them up in the toaster oven when I want one. Thanks for watching.
I'm gonna miss your waffles.